Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy a look back at 15 years of Concordia.
The story of Concordia is a story of empowering young men and women.
Plenary's topic this morning is Beyond a Refugee. It explores the private sector and how they can play a pivotal role in helping refugees rebuild the lives that they had before being forced to flee.
It is a story of giving the opportunity to do something great, to do something meaningful to those who would otherwise not have had it. And Concordia has become a blueprint of possibility and encouragement.
When I think about Concordia and the entrepreneurial story, it was a collision of all the things we were interested in. We were interested in news and understanding what was happening in the world. We were interested in politics and world affairs.
But it was the chicken and the egg, because you've got an idea, but you've got no track record. So we just sat one day, and I remember where we were and said, we're just gonna do this summit, in New York on September 20th, 2011.
Half of the world is female, and we can't leave 50% of the population behind as we think about the global system and our economy.
I remember after the first summit thinking, I never want to do this again. Yeah. I remember thinking, that was one of the most stressful experiences I've ever had, and we should not do this again.
I think every nascent organization has growing pains, and at that point the organization was still an infant. And so while we were growing the summits, we were also growing our staff and growing our budgets, and we were growing our communications and letting the world know who we were.
When we sat there in May of 2011 and said, come to our summit, we did not have a venue. We did not have a budget. We did not have a production company. We didn't have a program. We didn't have a speaker invitation template. I think we had a brand at that point. So that confidence and that belief that one way or another, we're going to get there is the key to the whole thing. And we needed to be reminded of that after going through what was the stressful experience of hosting that first summit.
I want to stand together with people who are willing to align to do good. And if we can find something that we agree on, that we can impact together, that's what I want to do.
What does this look like that every single citizen, no matter how hard to reach the region in which they live may be, starts to be able to access the health system in their community?
I think this access to education is especially important to young people. They're anxious about being able to provide for their families, and I think that's why we need to be able to amplify access to education and provide young people with that gateway to a brighter future.
It's not just about building an economic legacy, but building a social legacy.
That we have a real, clear, present tense opportunity to do it. So this is the moment to act.
I remember the exact moment I first met Nick. I was moving into my dorm room in high school, going into my sophomore year.
We started off being great friends, and I think from week one we had ascertained that we wanted to work together, and that was in the fall of 2003. And within a year we had started a snack company at our school, and we're working. Ended up having a number of adult employees when we were 16 or 17 years old, and have been working together ever since.
Everyone deserves to be heard, and the culmination of those voices, the culmination of everyone's thoughts on a subject can really, as long as that establishes our foundation, we can build an amazing foundation, and we can make the world an amazing place.
Currently, there are 110 ongoing conflicts in the world. And without being political, I'm sure we can all acknowledge that in all of these 110 contexts and beyond, there are young people being affected.
And so we do what others do with a fraction of the resources. And that is due to our team, working as hard as they do, doing it because they believe in the mission.
When I think about the future of Concordia, especially at 15 years, I look back on with immense pride of all that we've done, but I'm excited for the future because our job is to be the best convener there is.
That is done by, a continued focus on corporate governance, continued focus on hiring best talent and the best leadership, and making sure we have focus on what we're doing and how we do it and being the best at what we do.
It is only looking through the lens of history that we can constantly remind ourselves of the debt we owe to those who have come before and the duty we have to those who will come after. We dare not disappoint either.